Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Crusader Kings 2 Horse Lords as the Mongol Empire. In our last episode, we declared war on Bulgaria to try and make them a tributary so that we can get 40% of their income as long as our character lives. Which actually is probably not going to be that long considering we're 59, but hey, it'll be fun. Well, actually we have the hunting focus, we have our hunting dogs, so we do have maybe a decent chance of living for a reasonable amount of time. Speaking of our heir or our character and how long we might live, our current heir is our brother Altan here. Who's next in line? Nobody. We might be in a little bit of trouble in terms of the succession then, because our son is only 5 years old, our eldest. Altan's eldest is also 5, so we have to hope that we or Altan live long enough for one of these children to come of age. I think Altan especially has a very good chance of doing that. He's strong. Unfortunately, neither he nor his son have the wolf's blood, so we may lose the opportunity to keep passing on wolf's blood to our playable characters here, but that's okay. Maybe we can get it back at some point in the future. We can invest in technology, namely military tech, so I guess we should go for cavalry still. Makes a lot of sense. And we can pillage this holding. We'll keep doing it. I think this is the only holding we're currently pillaging. Maybe we should consider revoking some more titles from some of our vassals. And pillaging some more holdings for the extra income and tech points. But let's not try to revoke anything while we're at war here. Speaking of which, let's get back to it, and I think we'll leave Hungary alone for the moment and just cross into Bulgaria and start sieging some holdings here. Okay, our nephew, speaking of, whom we might end up playing as, so since he needs an education, we'll do it ourselves, I think. We have been sent a preacher, okay, into the dungeons with him, and we'll try to ransom him. This guy claims he would be a better marshal than our current marshal. Well, we don't have him currently appointed as a commander, and he is better. But this guy is landed, and the Bulugan clan is, I think, not particularly happy with me anyway, so I think we'll avoid annoying him by firing him from the council. Oh, our casus belli is no longer valid. Ended inconclusively. I assume the king just died here. Yeah, we have King Vladislav in charge now. Well, that's unfortunate. However, we do know that their army is pretty well depleted since we just killed a large majority of it, so we should be able to just declare on them again and win a very quick war. Let's get our troops out of their land and then do exactly that. And we'll call our vassals to war again. They may also have lost their alliance with Hungary. That would be nice, so we don't have to fight Hungary. We'll just move into their land immediately this time. No need for any clever strategy, I think. And they already lost a battle to one of our vassal armies here, Belgute. There is an army here belonging to one of his vassals. Looks like the Duke here. Which I believe we would not get any war score for fighting, so I think we'll just try to ignore that. Oh, apparently our vassal did not get the memo though, because they're going in to attack the army, so I guess that's fine. We'll probably just stay here and keep doing sieges. I guess we can release this Baron as well, or ransom him rather. The Bulgarian army has come around behind us via their boats. Probably not really a big concern though. Keep pillaging the one holding that we do have, and our son also needs an education, so we'll also take care of that ourselves. So as the succession currently stands, I guess if we live for another 10 years, we're gonna end up playing as our son. But if we die before that, we'll end up playing as our brother Altan, and then most likely his son. I think it could potentially still all go horribly wrong if our brother dies before us, and then we actually don't have an heir to inherit, and it'll go to one of the other clans, I think. Which I suppose is not terribly wrong. We'll probably be able to seize control of the Empire again before too long. Would be unfortunate, though. Our ally, the High Chief, is calling us to arms against a revolt. We'll accept, I suppose. And we have a faction again. This is an independence faction, mostly comprised of our feudal vassals, but we have this one tribal vassal, or nomad vassal rather, in charge here, or in the faction rather. We don't have any honorary titles to give him. We have a decent amount of money. We could give him a bribe. Doesn't like that I'm an infidel. Or a known murderer, I guess. I guess we'll send him money. Seems like the easiest way to improve his opinion. My nephew is always counting money and make sure he gets the most out of it. He haggled with a merchant over some sweetmeats until the merchant laughed with frustration and handed over the sweetmeats for a lot less than he had asked for. So he'll gain one stewardship and likely become greedy, or we can tell him about the joys of giving money, or he'll become charitable, and maybe also gain stewardship. So greedy is not terrible, I guess. I think we'll just do this. He did become greedy. That's okay. Apparently that did not solve our faction problem. We can do something about it, though, by revoking some of the titles of these vassals here. But again, I don't want to do that until after this war is over. That should not take too long, though. Our son is often involved in fights with other toddlers. We can say that's good news, and he'll become proud, wroth, diligent, or cruel, try to steer his energy elsewhere. He will likely become cynical, but maybe also diligent or slothful, or discipline him. I think we might go for proud, wroth, diligent, or cruel. Proud is reasonable for the extra monthly prestige. Wroth gives him extra martial, so that's useful as well. Obviously diligent would be the best outcome. Whereas cynical doesn't really help us at all. Oh, he became cruel. Well, I guess that's extra intrigue, but otherwise not a good trait for him to have. I caught my young ward, my son again, torturing a rat behind the stables today. So we have a chance immediately to possibly make him lose the trait cruel. Yeah, let's go for it. We did, okay. Probably not too happy about it. Took another siege down here. So we're on to lower holdings, which will probably siege a bit faster in both cases. Hopefully will let us get enough war score to end this war quickly. Up to 70%. Also have vassals sieging various parts of Bulgaria also. So some of those sieges finish, we'll get the war score from that also. Let's go ahead and check on our allies' revolt up here. Seems like he's doing just fine. No need for us to send any troops there. Okay, that siege gets us up to 96%. So any additional siege will probably do it for us. And meanwhile, we'll keep on pillaging. I think we can definitely afford to continue building upgrades in our capital now. We'll do the meat preserver, maybe? Lower horde maintenance cost is basically the same as extra income, since we're constantly paying that anyway. I think even at full reinforcement we pay for horde upkeep. Yes, okay. Basically works the same way as retinues, I think. Okay, so that gets us to 100%. We'll enforce demands. And we've made him our tributary. And also taken the name of Bulgaria off the map, which is really a good enough reason to do this all by itself. My nephew Gazan is aiming for the stars, the ambitious little brat. Yeah, I guess we'll make him ambitious. On the off chance that we do end up playing as him, that's a very good trait for us to have. Okay, and how much money are we making from Bulgaria? Actually a pretty decent amount, about half of the amount we're making from trade income. Not huge compared to our nomadic tax, but not insignificant. Maybe we'll make tributaries out of a few more people. Like Hungary, for example. How much are you making right now? You are not making a lot of money at all. I wonder if he has mercenaries raised or something. He is involved in a war between Verona and Pisa. Well, I think before we do that, we'll go ahead and do what I was talking about and revoke some titles from some of our vassals. Our faction is no longer an issue here, but these feudal vassals are still in the faction. So this guy has 2 titles. We'll revoke one of them, I suppose. Where's the other one? Over here. So that's pretty inconveniently located if we have to go and fight him. How about this High Chief? He's up in Yugra. Also pretty inconvenient. And we'd have to revoke 2 titles from him. The High Chief and the regular chiefdom. You were the one who was there, and you... Oh no, they're both in this area. Okay. Well, maybe we won't actually revoke their titles. We should have some vassals more in this area. I assume some of this was feudal land, but maybe not. It seems to be just down here, okay. Well, maybe we'll go for Yugra then. He is probably going to refuse, and we'll have to send troops to fight him, but that's okay. We'll revoke him and I guess his vassal as well once we have revoked the High Chiefdom. Good news is we probably don't need to send our whole army up there. Half is probably more than enough. In fact, we might just be able to call in some vassal khans and have them deal with it for us. Yeah, we are no longer his liege lord. Seems like most of them will accept, so we'll just call them all in. Maybe we'll just leave our army down here then. Okay, I guess I called Bulgaria to war. He's included when I click that button, it seems. My son Bujeg is turning into an arrogant little braggart. I might have to rein him in a bit. I don't mind too much if he becomes proud. So we'll allow that. All of our vassals except they have some more conveniently located armies here, so that's good. After years of careful planning, this guy from the court of Khan Jamuga of the Chilagoon has raised a large army of exiles, mercenaries, and hopefuls, declaring his intention to press his claim by force. Okay, good luck with that. So he's after... what is this? Hotan. Okay. Well, I don't like that because he's going to disrupt the Silk Road. Actually, though, if he's just fighting Hotan, I think the trade will be able to continue to flow through the more northerly route here, since we own this land now. So actually, that shouldn't interrupt trade at all. Which is good. Speaking of trade, we should actually probably look at upgrading our trade posts for extra income. Where else did we have trade posts? Here. Okay, so we can't do that because we're upgrading the other one. We could also consider just building more trade posts. This one belongs to the Chilagoon. But we had a third one. We do, okay. We'll upgrade that. Let's see, maybe we'll build another one all the way to the east here. I guess we've got one in there already. Another person whose titles we could revoke. It seems like we've got a lot of trade posts around here already. Okay, well, we'll just be content with the ones that we have then for the moment. Guess we can build them further west as well. See, this is the end of the trade route. Already a trade post there, there. Okay then. Seems like we might be a little late to the party on the trade posts. That's okay though. So our vassals are about to engage their army probably. Okay, our trade post in our capital is upgraded. We have a daughter who needs educating. We can give her to somebody for opinion, which is maybe something we should consider doing. Like this guy. He might become iconoclast, but I'm not too concerned about that. You're inviting me to a plot. This is our brother and heir. He wants to kill Kubilai. Todogen. Is that the Khan? No. Some relative of his, though, probably. Sure, I'll accept. I don't know who this is, but why not? Oh, our spy master. Yeah, let's actually maybe not. Let him plot to kill our spy master. Since if it goes wrong, he will not be happy with us. Probably should make him a bit happier, actually, while we're at it, though we don't have any honorary titles to give out. Guess we can spare 20 gold. Okay. Well, we are just about out of time for this episode, so we'll have to leave it here for now and continue with our minor wars in the next one. Thanks for watching, and join me again then.